I have a slide here, which I do believe, I do believe in inclusion, although I do think inclusion is to come with some riders. I think we need to have options for flexibility within inclusion. We need to have not everyone doing the same thing. Here's my inclusion slide, by the way, if you like that one, really. I think you can have inclusion, but for me, inclusion is to have flexibility, because it's not going to work all the time, is it, really? I mean, this can work sometimes. Why can't the fox be with the hounds? Having a video. But what about during PE? Do you think that's going to work very well for the fox? Probably not. You've got to make some distinctions, haven't you, really? In some classes that aren't going to work, I'm not saying that children with ADHD or ASD shouldn't do PE. I am saying that some distinctions that how they function need to be taken into accommodation before you just put everyone out there. If break time, chaos, loud noises, uncertainty is fun for everybody, it is. What about if that makes you feel scared? It wouldn't be fun, would it, really? So I think when it comes to inclusion, we'd have structure, we'd have flexibility in there as well. Routines. There are letters, but for me also, a lot of the kids need to have that. And they haven't always learned it, haven't or maybe always learned it early enough either, so they need to be taught it. And that sometimes takes time. And again, I've got to say with all this, it's not inspiration, it's perspiration. You know the old stat they said, there's 10% inspiration, 90% perspiration. I'd put maybe 95 and 5 here. When it comes to making distinctions, in our school, I'm not going to say what you should do, but what I am very keen on is making sure that, Bill Rogers says that you own your behaviour. ADHD can't hit anybody, Jason hit someone. Make the distinction. We want to try to help Jason make a different choice. Some things have to be non-negotiable. Now, if you're in a mainstream school, for me, these are the ones that are non-negotiable. Whether you're ADHD, ODD, EBD, BBC, whatever, you've got to have some things that are somewhat non-negotiable. I'm not saying there should be these ones, but you've got to have some things that there is no flexibility on, or very little. But on the right-hand side, these things here are not crimes against humanity, and that's what we're trying to do, really, is to make a little bit more accommodation for some of the differences in how people learn. Okay, so let them fiddle, calling out, those sort of things aren't appropriate, but find different ways of managing it. Don't do hands in the air, do pencils out of the jar, do table tennis balls. Lots of things you can do to minimise that. When it comes to real responsibilities, I am very clear about making sure that you do have your systems in advance. You're not reactive, but you are proactive. So having some of those systems, time out, time away, very important, particularly for kids with oppositional defiant disorder who love a crowd. As I said to you before, they love a crowd, they love an argument, they're good at it. And by the way, it takes 2 people to have an argument. Only one person's arguing, it's not an argument. Remember before, they love an argument, don't give them the opportunity. When it comes to the basics, a lot of it is about trying to make sure you have minimised distractions. We know these kids are very distractible, so therefore it's about trying to minimise those options. So some of these are quite important. Can you see them at all times? I can't emphasise the fact that being a teacher, particularly for children on the spectrum or in the ADHD field, it means that you have to be a mobile meerkat, scanning and walking, getting amongst them, really. But also, making sure that you don't just make it that child you're going to. But I do like mobile meerkats. So for me, I think it's very, very central. So when I go and judge teachers teach, watch teachers teach, it's about, for me, mobility is one of the things I look at mostly.